Welcome to State of Unity podcast, where we talk with people who used to live the ordinary and are now living in the extraordinary. Hong is the coolest person I have ever met. As a profession, she leads expeditions in Antarctica. I met her the day I started the hike up Kilimanjaro. We couldn't have spoken for more than 15 minutes, but instantly we felt like we had been friends for years. We met up a week later on the island of Zanzibar and continue to stay in touch today. This episode is special in a few ways. It was recorded days after Hong had reached her goal of traveling to 100 countries, and days before I left my security and others to trust in my own path with State of Unity. I hope you enjoy this episode. It's very special to me.
I would love to hear.
Well, first of all, congratulations on 100 countries. That is amazing. Okay, so how old are you?
24 by now.
24, and you've been to 100 countries.
Yes.
Has anyone else done that?
Like 24? I mean, like, not in an extent. Like, I just met actually in Swaziland a month ago an American guy from New York, and he has been now, he's more than 30, I think almost 40, and he has been to 130 countries or something. But the way he was traveling is very different than my style, because he told me, he's like, oh, I was just 2 days in Mali, and then I was 1 day in Lesotho, and then he had only 2 days in Swaziland when I met him. And for me, it's like not like that at all. Like, I even live in some of the countries I've been traveling, like on all the continents I think I've been living so far. And then some countries I really like, so I just stayed for months, or some countries I didn't like, so I just stayed for a week. But at least I always made one friend, usually in every country I've been to. So his style is so different than my style. Like, he is just doing, in 6 weeks he was traveling I don't know how many countries, and sometimes 6 weeks I only do one country or something. So this is so different than from me. So it's more than 6 years now I've been doing it, and I'm so happy that I finally made it. 100 countries I always wanted to do before turning 30, but yeah. Oh, there are officially 193 UN countries. So I go actually after the United Nations countries. Then I think 93 countries more to go, but
that's
now
amazing.
slowly. Yeah, I would always say that to everyone. If you have a dream, go for it. You will find your ways. I was a super low budget traveler when I started the first 2 years. It was really crazy. I was living from $10 per day from my savings. Like, I think my limits for fear are like, it's very low. So that's why I guess I just like push myself to go everywhere I wanted to go.
Wow. So how did this dream come to be?
I think I was always really like someone who loves traveling, because I really see it as a way of education. I do feel I like, so in compared to 6 years ago, maybe like my basement of personality didn't change, but so many things I know about this world right now, what I got to see, what kind of people I've met, and the cultures I was like immersing myself into, it's changing you so much, like being even, I guess, more humble and grateful for many things. I remember today I was like hiking on this island where I'm right now in Seychelles, and I went to the top and had a look over Seychelles and the other islands, and I was just like, this is life for me. This is something I can't even describe, like how much it's filling me inside and how grateful I am for this opportunity, because I was so blessed to be born in Germany, having a German passport, and finding my ways around how to travel even around the world, even though I started so low budgeting. And then now working on Antarctica, it's such an opportunity for life. Yeah, so one came after another, and I never stopped traveling, which is crazy.
So are you working now or not working? Obviously, you're not in Antarctica anymore.
Yeah, so this year it got canceled, and by the end, no, so you have to think about every season is usually December until February.
Okay.
So the last season, because of COVID, got canceled. But I am expecting to come back this year, whether in November or December, to start the season. So it's
So cool. So how do you support yourself? I mean, you're not doing $10 a day anymore. So do you just save up when you're in Antarctica, obviously, because you're not spending any money there, and then that helps your travels?
yes, and my way of traveling is very unique to then, I guess, other people. Just okay, just for example, I arrived yesterday actually in Seychelles, and then I figured out the taxi from the airport to my place where I'm staying. It's like a 20 minutes taxi drive actually. Would be like $60.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was just like, what? Okay, I know Seychelles is super expensive. But then I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just walking. So I was like walking actually 15 kilometers, which is like, I guess, 11 or 12 miles from the airport to my hotel, which took me like almost 3 hours, like through some mountain place. And I arrived totally like sweaty, but I love exercise. I love challenge. I just don't care. Actually, I could also, it's so easy in Seychelles to hitchhike. I could have taken like a bus, which was like only 50 cents, or like hitchhiking, because some people stop and they actually really ask me like, do you need a ride? But I was like, no, I'm fine. So I was like in my adventure spirit is just so big that I decide for myself I would like to see the island while walking so I can
Yeah.
have better look at it and encounter to other people. And it's like it's not really much saving money. Like, okay, taxi, yes, I save a lot, but I could have taken the bus for 50 cents or like I say a hike. But for me it has been mostly like that, like camping a lot, so I save on accommodation. I don't eating, I'm very like I just need the basics, so I'm also not like super fancy. Like once in a while I would eat fancy, but most of the time I'm really happy with the basics. And then during the day I discover most places just by walking, so I'm not even paying much during the day for the activities I'm doing. Africa is more expensive than other continents, but for sure I find my ways around still. And I'm also sure that the way I'm traveling here on Seychelles is saving me so much money compared to all the Russians and French people I've met so far. Like they are all on honeymoon, they don't care, and I don't even rent a car like most people.
Yeah.
So yeah, my spirit for adventures is so much bigger that it helps me in like so many times to save money. So this is also not a big issue. That's why I say, like, if you really want to, you will find your ways.
Very true. Yeah. And that's one of my favorite things when I explore, like go to a new place. One of the first things I like to do, get up the next morning and run and just take in the sights and try to get my bearings for things. So I totally understand like aspect.
Yes, that's what I figured out about you as well when we were like together in Zanzibar. Like you're so active as usual,
Yeah.
like me. So today I was like walking and hiking for like 4 or 5 hours, and which makes me super happy. Like I love to have this kind of routine in my travels. I don't have a routine, but one thing I always make sure is like my body is doing exercise, because I kind of get cranky if it doesn't. Like I get mentally
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
cranky.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just feel like dirty almost.
Yes. Oh my god, I'm so happy you understand me in this way, because I know that I'm like there are some people I've been encountering in the past, and you could like sit all day long, like for 1 or 2 days just in the hostel.
Oh my
And I'm
goodness.
just like, I almost never do that. You have to imagine in those 6 years, I think the only time I was like staying inside was when I was super sick. Even when I was sick, I usually go out. Like I had the COVID first vaccination, and the next day I was hiking the tallest mountain in Southern Africa. So like I don't care. I still go. So I think like this describes me also a lot.
Yeah, well, also your hiking is not normal. Like you you go faster than people who do that for a profession, which I guess you do too, so that makes sense. But
I even haven't told you I did Mount Kenya also and so fast. Like for my guide, it was the fastest summiting. And also for my other guide in the tallest mountain in Southern Africa, it's called Mount Mulanje and it's in Malawi. I did also, he told me like this was the fastest summiting ever. And I was just like, oh my God, once I'm in my element, I'm gone. Like you can't even stop me anymore. My poor guides. I was even thinking I would love to attend once in my life Ironman. So after these long travels, I want to go back to Taiwan later this year to have my base in Taiwan again, and then to really train hard for an Ironman because Ironman would be so cool. And another thing is saving for Mount Everest. That would be like my personal goals. You know, I really want to go to Mount Everest. Do you want to come with me?
I see that for you. I'll do the base camp. The top part,
Okay,
I'm
you're gonna
intimidated.
wait
I
for
would
me
need
at
to
the
learn
base camp.
more.
And you wait for me at the base camp. I'm going up and then coming down
Okay,
from the summit.
deal. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh.
Yeah, I know next year I definitely want to do Aconcagua in South America. And then beyond that, I haven't really thought of such.
Okay, you know what I figured out, which is really funny. Maybe it's just a Hong thing, but I I do always feel when I was at the beginning of my travels, I was clinging so much to think about how to get money for my travels, and I was so afraid that at below a certain point, when I'm getting like to this amount of my money on my bank account, I would get so nervous and like so afraid, right?
Yes.
But let me tell you, even though it sounds like, oh my God, she's such a spiritual hippie, once I let it go and totally believe in the way it goes will go the right way, I never have problems ever again. Yeah, I literally let it go. I just like seen where does it lead me to, like how creative I can become when it's getting to a certain stage, and then also like how much I can trust kind of the universe kind of in what I'm doing. Because I feel like it has mostly my back when I'm traveling around. It sounds so crazy, but it is true. And then the other thing is like I do think we are most like we human beings are way too much controlled about our financial situation, money. Just think about it. I had sometimes like stages in my life where it went so down. Do you remember in Tanzania when my stuff got stolen?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like whenever think really like even though maybe it's a hardcore way of thinking, you are still in the game called life. You are getting maybe below, like you're getting level 1, like before you were level, like it's like a game. It's like you went level 20 and then you drop down to level 3 or 4. But first, you still were a privileged person. Like you are smart, you have your skills, you know yourself. Second, you even coming from a, let's say, Western country where whenever I feel like if it's really running low, I can always come back to Germany and making some money there. And yeah, being sustainable for myself. Third, I'm not losing my life. I'm still in the game called life. I still can come from level 4, like even more. It can be very challenging, but we I'm getting so creative and finding my ways around. Like when I'm facing those challenges. Like years ago, I would cry like crazy. But when it happened to me last year, I was just like, okay, calm down. What's the next step you have to do? I even went back for a while to Germany, and I had to work as well again, because like my savings were running out. So I was working for 2-3 months before I came back to Africa, because I wanted to give it another chance. But what I want to say is, I still think with a positive way of thinking, with trust to that it should go the way it should go. Even you have to interfere. You cannot wait and sitting there and waiting for a miracle. No, that's not what I meant. But you go for it. And third of all, there is like, you can't, as long as you're living and still in the game, you can always make yourself the way up. But as soon as you're gone, okay, then you're gone. But you're not. We are still here, and we can make always the best out of it.
That was beautifully said.
I feel I sound like this spiritual, I don't know, really hippie girl, but it is what I feel and how I experience like the last years of traveling.
I definitely agree with you on the letting go part. I've very, very rarely, I would have to say, honestly, this is the first time in probably close to 10 years that I've actually been semi-worried about money. I usually, just like you, I'm like, I've never had to worry about it. It's always taking care of itself. I mean, I'm obviously doing things to make it happen, but it's not something that is taking up space in my mind, right? Like I just trust that I'll be provided for, and it's always worked out. So that's a good reminder. Thank you.
It's just a win-win situation for me. And it's like, it's the strong woman I admire, because I know it from so many others, like talking but not doing actions. And I was just like, oh, I want to make it to my 100 countries, Seychelles. Okay, I'm gonna go there. And then I just told 1 or 2 people about it. But then I really went there, because I know how many people are like sometimes doing plans, but then I don't know, maybe they forget it, or they feel like, oh, it's not worth it, or they lacking of, I don't know, getting out of the comfort zone. That's what I feel, or the fear of the unknown. And then they are like, no, I'm not gonna do that, And for me, it's like, no, we only have this one life, so I'm gonna make the best out of it. We all got 24 hours. I'm gonna do the best also out of my 24 hours.
I feel like you're my spiritual guru right now, like saying everything that I needed to hear today. I feel that way every time I talk to you, so this is really no different.
It feels like we were walking, like as if we are walking on the beach together right now in Zanzibar, and yet you were like telling me a little bit about your life. I was so excited to hear about it, and how much like progress you made, like during the time also in Tanzania, to just let things more going.
Oh my gosh, it was transformational. That trip changed my life without a doubt. Yeah. I've had so far, I did my the About Us page, so kind of like the story of how State of Unity came to be. And every person that I've shared it with, they're so connected to it and so inspired by it, and they just have all these things that they want to tell me, like it brought up this memory and this feeling and this emotion. I was like, oh my goodness, I might be a decent writer actually. So that's been kind of cool.
This is a great idea, and like now you have so many supporters even around the world.
Well, I do know in September for sure we are hiking Machu Picchu.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna love it. It was from the 2 years I've been spending and traveling around South America, I would say it's one of my top 5 experiences in South America. It's so magical. Like you go on this 5 days trek, and sometimes you don't even, like, I didn't know the other people who went with me, and you make such a bond with them in just 5 days, because you all go on this. It was spiritual as well, because you are kind of with Pachamama, which is like Mother Nature. And the whole group was like all into traveling, hiking, dynamic, and usually those are the people who are deciding to go on Sarka Day. So they are similar to both of us. So definitely you're gonna love it. I'm sending you, and then the views. Oh my god, poof, this was amazing. Top 5 for sure.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm so excited for you. And I do think maybe it's nice that you are tackling one of your goals, because then I feel you just need to get out for a while, and then you will feel like alive again. Like,
yes,
this is what I want, and this is like definitely life for me.
You have me thinking though, like, you're right. Like my time, that's a big thing right now is my time. It's so scattered that I can't get done what I feel like I need to get done. And am I trusting God to sustain me through this, or am I trusting money? So I'm going to have to pray about that one.
I think you know by your heart actually what you should trust in.
This is true.
Like I do. Because see it also as a test. If you don't let yourself fully down, you not sounds really strange, but it's like you don't trust God then enough to take care of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It doesn't get there because you're not fully there with your heart yet. Like you're not fully like, okay, I know you're there and you help me, but you are not like fully falling you down, like let you fall down. So this is a real challenge for almost every human being on earth. But as soon as you can let it go, you can feel there is someone, or there is like the universe in the back. Like for me, it's the universe in the back who is like helping me all the time. Like I do feel it, but it's like a challenge for most people, and it's like a test to yourself as well. Like, do you go far enough to trust it? Then do it. But if you don't go far enough, you will always have doubts and be like, oh, can I do it? And then it's not going over this obstacle, I would say.
Yeah. So true. So true.
So just think about that, what I just telling you, and I think it will help you a lot. And then when it's like a test, maybe you can see it as a test from God. So as soon as you can overcome this test, then you are ready to let yourself fall into that, like, in his hand. I'm just supporting you, whatever you do. And I'm extremely, extremely proud of you that you started your project now and that it's going there, because it's you, Kara. Get your self-confidence back. I know it's there deep down, and I know you can handle everything so well. That's how I got to know you. You were like lightening up and were inspiring for me as well when I met you in Zanzibar and like in Tanzania.
I felt the same way about you. I think back on like with how little time we spent together and how connected just instantly. I was like, this girl is staying part of my life forever.
Because we have the same spirit. So that's like, and I'm gonna always trying to lift you up whenever it's needed. So
I'm always here for you. Okay.
Yeah, the same. And then have a good day in the US, and then think about the rest of the trip for this year. And like I say, trust more and you will get there. And I'm proud of you.
So beautiful. Congratulations on 100.
Yes. Just so excited. Okay, sorry.
Love it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so have a great day. I say goodbye.
Bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, spread the word. Share with a friend, post it, comment, shout out. Let us know. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another episode. Follow us on our socials, and be sure to check out stateofunity.org for upcoming group experiences. This is Cara Irene, hoping we leave you feeling inspired to do more.